Hey guys, so it is late, and I figured I should update weekly, and so that's why I'm here. I just got done talking with my parents for about the past hour and a half. It's the longest conversation I think I've had with them since being here. Actually, no, it is the longest conversation I've had with them since being here. And for a long time in our conversation, it's like, oh yeah, I should really vlog. And they're like, oh yeah, go vlog. And I'm like, I have nothing to vlog about. So I'm only doing this because they told me I should. Also, I figured it's good to have weekly updates. But I asked them what I should talk about, and they told me I should talk about how awesome of a parents I have. So, yep. Shout out to you, Mom and Dad, for letting me come here. I know I've talked with quite a few people who are on this trip, and we've had conversations about, parents not letting their kids study abroad or being a little apprehensive about their students studying abroad. And I have to say, I got lucky in the parent department for that, because they were like, oh, you want to study abroad? Go. Shoot. Go. So, definitely glad I'm allowed to study abroad and make my own decisions. Granted, the reason I talked to my parents for an hour and a half is because I was telling my mom about all my spring break plans. That's how the conversation started. And so it's not because she needed to know everything I was doing, but more just so that she knew what I was doing. Also, she's a travel agent, so that's also part of it. Because if there's things that I want to do, she can be like, oh yeah, like you're here, go to this place. So anyway, yeah, there's Mom and Dad. So last time was Pride and Prejudice. I can't believe it's been a week since I saw Pride and Prejudice. It seems like forever ago that I saw that. Granted, I'm still glad I went, but it just seems so far away already, which I guess sums up my time here. It seems so far away that I stepped off of that plane into the airport, and even farther away that I stepped off the bus to see the Barbican, which is the gate that I walk in and out of to get in and out of the castle. It seems forever ago that I saw that for the first time, or that I first laid my eyes on Anik, even. And granted, this Friday starts spring break, so that's halfway through my time here. So it just seems crazy that it's already here, halfway, 6 weeks. And it's kind of sad to think about, too. Even now, I'm not ready to go back. I'm not. There's so much to learn here. So, I joked with my parents that I'm eventually going to have to do a vlog segment on how to eat like a Brit, because I officially learned how to do that today. So, one day I'll just have to do a segment on let me eat in front of you. Here's my utensils and here's how they eat. So I don't know how I'll do that, but apparently I will. But yeah, so let's see. So last week, Pride and Prejudice. This week has been interesting. One of our professors is gone this week, and so we did not have classes. I didn't have to wake up early any day. So it was definitely a week of just planning spring break was my main adventure for the week. And other than that, I really didn't do anything. I went and saw La La Land on Friday. So if any of you have not seen La La Land, I'm not going to give anything away, so you don't have to worry. But this is the second time I'd seen La La Land. I went before I left for here. I went and saw it back in the U.S. I went on a date, because dates are nice. And saw La La Land, and at that point in time, I didn't know how I felt about it. It's kind of one of those movies where you either like it or you don't, and I was at that point in time where I'm just like, I like it, but I don't. It was like right in the middle, which is weird. Like, that's not how that's supposed to go. So I don't know. But I went and saw it for a second time. Funny story about going and seeing it. So we were coming back from our field trip, which we went to Morpeth and Woodhorn and had a relaxed field trip compared to what we normally have because our main professor was gone this week. So it was just more relaxed. It was learning about the Pittman painters and about Emily Davidson, a British suffragette who ended up dying for the cause, and just learning about her, seeing her grave, and actually meeting one of her family members, which was really cool. But we were on our way back, and we're like, oh, well, yeah, let's see what's playing at the Playhouse tonight. And it was La La Land, and we're like, oh, we want to go. So we got ready and went to La La Land at 7:30, and there was 3 of us who went, and there were only 3 seats left, and they weren't even by each other. And we're like, we'll take them. So found out later that the seat I had and the seat that one of my friends had, they were actually originally taken, but the people who were supposed to be there, something came up and they couldn't, and so that's why the tickets were on sale for us. So it was just crazy that they were even open. The theater, well, Playhouse, it's not really a theater. It's where they put on plays and whatnot as well. But it was packed. And seeing the movie for the second time, I love it, and now I've been obsessed with the playlist the soundtrack of it. I mean, it is also on my musical hits list that I listen to all the time. So I've been obsessed with the music and have been just listening to it nonstop. I think my roommate might be a little annoyed with me, but that's okay because the music is good. And if you haven't seen La La Land, I would recommend it. Unless you don't like musicals, and then don't go see it. But if you like Ryan Gosling or Emma Stone, go see it. So, yeah, that was Friday. And then yesterday, what did I do? I went to the gardens. So, Anik is popular for 2 things. 1, the castle, which is not open yet. And number 2, it is famous for its gardens. So, the Anik Gardens are right out there. There's a window right there. It's right out there. And I can get into them for free, kind of like how I get into the castle for free because I paid to be here. And so yesterday, my roommate and I were like, okay, it's a nice day. It's not raining. It was not raining. I was so thankful it was not raining. And we went to the gardens, and right now there aren't any flowers really because it's kind of still winter a bit, even though there's not snow. And we walked around. I sat on one of the little toy tractors that they have for kids, and I made a look that looked a lot like my nephew's. So that was interesting to realize, and we got lost in a maze that they have there. Granted, my roommate got lost because I had already gone through the maze before, and my roommate got lost because I let her lead. So there's that, and we played with some of the water fountains that they have. And then we walked up this really gigantic hill to try and find the swings in the cherry tree garden. And we found the swings, and then we sat down and we swing. And then we had a tour of the poisonous garden. And I'm not going to say anything about the poisonous garden because there was really nothing in the poisonous garden right now, and I'll have to go back later. But definitely the Anik Gardens, I think I might end up just going and grabbing a book and sitting in one of the swings because it is my favorite. Then again, I love swinging, so that might be it too. But other than that, let's see. Today, I have a community connection, which not everyone here has, which is really sad because I think that having a community connection is probably the greatest thing in the entire world because you get to meet people and you get to see things, at least with my community connection, I get to see things I probably wouldn't even get to if it wasn't for her. So her name's Susan, and she's adorable. I'm slightly terrified of her driving, however, because she speeds a lot. She goes really fast. And I usually sit in the front, which is also really weird because I sit on the left side and not the right side like I would in the US, so that's also great. But she had a flat tire yesterday, and so she had her spare tire on, so she couldn't go over 80 kilometers, which is 50 miles per hour, and so that was nice. I didn't freak out as much today. but we went to another garden area, which was actually on the grounds of where Earl Grey, like Earl Grey tea, where Earl Grey lived once upon a time. And so we were on, like, I got to see his house and walk the gardens with Susan, and one of my friends is also with me in the community contact, because Susan has 2 community contact people. So that's me and my pal Tessa. And Tessa and I are also avid Pride and Prejudice lovers. So it just is great because she also has a love for Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Which brings me, I have an official plan for spring break, which, like I said, is this coming Friday. And so I leave. We have a field trip in Edinburgh. It actually is in Scotland. And I will be taking an overnight bus so that I didn't have to get lodging for the night, which I thought was really nice. So I will be taking an overnight bus from Edinburgh, and then I have a layover in London at like 6:20 in the morning. So that'll be fun. Be awake, get some breakfast probably. And then I have a bus from Edinburgh to Salisbury, which is where Stonehenge is. So hoping to see Stonehenge, and then I'm hoping to go to the garden where the gazebo that they used in the filming of Pride and Prejudice, where Darcy proposes to Elizabeth for the first time, is. And even though I am going all by myself, because I am an independent woman, I'm an independent person, means that I will probably need to find someone to take a picture of me in my favorite proposal spot for Pride and Prejudice, because, like, it's probably the best proposal ever, because he insults her while proposing to her, and it's the greatest thing in the entire world. And then I also want to get to Jane Austen's grave and house while I'm at Salisbury. And then from Salisbury, I'm going to Sheffield to go to the Peak District, which is where another one of my favorite filming locations is. I mean, it's not, like, it's just a little bit of a scene, but she's, like, standing on these cliffs, and it's beautiful. Also, it's just a hiking trip, so that should be nice. Get some nice fresh air and get outdoors. Not that I'd get outdoors, like, I get outdoors all the time, because anywhere I go, I have to go outdoors, whether it's to the pasture or whatever. Also, big news. Actually, really not that big of news unless you're a British person. Anyway, okay, so Lent is coming up. And I don't do Lent. That's not something that I practice personally. But here in Britain, they have this thing called Shrovetide Tuesday, which is the day, Shrovetide is Mardi Gras, the equivalent of Mardi Gras, although this is viewed all throughout England. And on Tuesday, this Tuesday, we will be celebrating Shrovetide, which in the olden days they used to eat a lot, and they would kill chickens, and it was just awful, terrible things. But they would play this football game, like legit football, not British football, which is soccer, but like football. And they played in the pasture, which is just right. Okay, I'm sitting in the library. My room's like above me, so the pasture's that way. So gardens are that way, pastures are that way. Not that you know what ways I'm pointing, but it's okay. But anyway, so we'll be in the pasture, and I'm personally not playing because I am not a sporty person at all. But I will watch, so it's this giant football game, and the big thing about the game is that there are no rules. So the one rule is that there are no rules. So anything goes, which sounds dangerous to me, but Alnwick is one of like 5 places in England that still allow the Shrovetide football game, so, you know, that's cool. And so I'll watch people play the Shrovetide football game, and at the end, apparently they all end up in the river. So that'll be fun to watch them and laugh at them, because I won't be playing. So that's the big thing for this week, besides the fact that spring break's coming up. I don't know how vlogging's gonna go while I'm there, because, yeah, I'll be staying in hostels, so maybe I'll vlog, maybe I won't. But if I don't vlog next weekend, I will definitely vlog the following weekend to just catch you all up. And as always, please can I like beg you? Please come up with questions so that I don't just ramble about what I want to talk about. Please, if you want to know anything, and if you are all for me having a vlog video about how to eat like a Brit, like please let me know in the comments. Feel free, just drop a comment, even just like drop a comment like, oh my gosh, I love your vlogs, or like, hey pal, literally anything, please. I can give you a shout out, kind of like I did with my parents today, even though all I did was talk to them like a good daughter would. So anyway, drop comments below, and I will catch you all up in a week or so, depending on how things go. So see you all next time.